And we live. What's happening? What's happening, folks? Welcome back to part two of War Stories featuring Jermon Hitman Arnell, also known as Jermon Hitman Simpkins. My bro, thank you again for your time. I can't thank you enough, but most importantly, I can't thank you enough for your story, man, and just kind of pouring your heart out there in regards to things that have been uncomfortable, you know what I'm saying, in your life, and things that have kind of, have changed the course of your life. So for you to be able to come out here and chop it up with me and my viewers and being honest about some of this stuff, I can't commend you enough, man. And just, I know you already know this, but I also can't tell you and remind you enough in regards to the work that you're doing by putting your story out there, how you're paying that forward to somebody who has lived the experience that you've lived, or is about to live it, or is in the midst of it and don't know what to do. You see what I'm saying? And then hopefully we can prevent people from even going through some of the things you've been through too. So, like I said, I commend you for being brave enough to tell your story, and thank you for your time. So what's good? How you feeling?
Yeah, man, I'm great, man. These are the beginning steps, man. It's something that's gonna, hopefully make an impact. That's the motive, that's the motivation, man.
Absolutely.
So we
Absolutely.
on. But yeah, it's great. Like you said, after been through everything, you know what I'm saying? Man, it's a blessing, man.
Hey, it's funny how you remember how we were talking about earlier about looking at the camera. So right now, does it look like I'm looking at you?
Yeah, as far as because I guess we both looking at the screen, yeah.
Hey, bro.
Man, I know, because when I look at people, I like to see their eyes. So,
Right. Well, I'm a little. That's what I'm saying. I tell people all the time too, because sometimes people are like, "Why your eyes so low?" I tell them, I said, "I'm Zulu, man. I'm African," and it blows their mind because they don't assume that there's African people with squinty eyes, but we got eyes like that. We got eyes like that for real.
It's all kind of stigmas, man. People
yeah.
You can only take and operate to a level of what you've been exposed to, mostly, for the average.
Absolutely. And speaking of, like, who was that you was just remember that you was just kind of bumping the music before we went live?
Oh, that's Nip, man.
Neighborhood Nip.
Yeah, Neighborhood Nip, man.
It's a damn shame, when I think about that. What do you think? I said it's a damn shame when I think about that whole situation. What's your take on the whole situation in regards to what happened to Nip?
Man, that hurt me. Like, he was one of my family members. You know what I'm saying? I know that, like, he did
Real
that
shit.
household to household, man, to even people that thought he was an enemy up until his demise. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee you they felt it as if he was a family member too, because
absolutely,
his roots was from the motherland. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You could feel his spirit. He was spiritual. Like, speaking of Nip, when I remember a year after I got shot, I was about to go back into surgery so they can put a piece of my skull back in, right? And I was scrolling through YouTube and watching different interviews. I seen an interview on him, and I seen, I could tell he was a Crip. You know what I'm saying? He had like on a white tee, tank top, gangster tee, and hair braided to the back, kind of wild hair though, and he was talking.
Right.
The gangster mannerisms, the body movements, and
right.
But I'm listening to him, and he was talking with knowledge. I'm like, damn, bro, like me, like I said before, like when I started becoming, waking up beyond colors and stuff, and started being able to see other people, like kind of consider him as my brother, or we're all the same, one of the same,
cut from the same cloth.
Beyond the foolish, ignorant divisions we put in place. You know what I'm saying? But anyway,
right.
He was speaking with deep knowledge and wisdom. Man, that dude had a lot with him, man. And
he was a smart cat.
And he was talking about how how he really don't have to write his raps no more, because like he just grew into himself and just became more knowledgeable of himself. And then, like he said, something about reading books. Now I like to read. I always have. Like I always being like an undercover nerd. Like I always seek knowledge. Like even on the yard. You know what I'm saying? You catch me after workout or whatever, smoke weed, all that. I pass up on all that. Mostly I be in there reading books, business books and stuff. Up in my vocab, words I didn't know.
Yeah.
Write them down and go look them up, and I'll put a tag by them in the book and write the little definition so I can read the book more smoothly the next time and all that. You dig?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's real. That's real, bro.
Back to what I'm saying. Man, bro was he referenced his book called Three Magic Words by U.L.S. Anderson, and it was just like a spiritual book about God, like beyond religion. It was God.
Uh-huh.
And me going through what I was going through, had just got shot out there in the streets, survived a headshot, and coming from the gang culture, street life as well, and seeing him like have what I got in me,
right?
Level was like, dang, you know what I'm saying? So, man, that right there.
Yeah, well, and that thing to where it's like it's possible to change everything.
And not only that, but the things he did, you know what I'm saying? Because I used to sit in the cell and be hearing that Birdman from sitting in the cell to sitting on a jet. You know what I'm saying? Nip did that. You feel me?
He did that, bro.
Blocks to like on top, like you know what I'm saying. As far as financial, money ain't everything, but it's the principle, it's the point, it's the
hustle.
It's the hustle. You dig? Yeah, and it just came from a place of realness. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
He gave hope, like he said, he gave hope where the hope is at. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like he really shed a light on like how, like a lot of us today, I call it slave mentality. You know what I'm saying? Oppressed thinking. You know what I'm saying? About how people only see themselves so far, feel like they put ceilings over their own head, like they only see that they can only achieve certain amounts of success, certain heights of success. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we got billionaires and trillionaires out here. The average person coming from where we come from feel like, I ain't no use to me even dreaming about nothing like that.
It's not even possible. Like,
I'm gonna go get this $18 an hour,
right?
401k instead of making 401k by the hour like the billionaires, the trillionaires. You feel me?
Yeah,
it's real. You feel me?
Yeah.
And how I feel about Nip. No BS. I've always like studied millionaires, billionaires, business people, but I was a fan of Pac and all the people that came up like that. But Nip was a different breed. Like he wasn't a different breed, but he was a different person. He was his own individual, and he put that out there. Like he gave that hope, especially to me. You feel me? Like
he was
about a lot of things that I used to care for. It became irrelevant to the bigger picture, the true greatness in it all. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Now he was definitely, I agree with the first part that he was definitely a new breed because, all these other cats, bro, when we were growing up, like, don't get me wrong, like a lot of them were active in regards to, street shit and all of that, but a lot of them weren't. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of them just played that role because it was more marketable. The Ice Cubes, the Ice Cubes really wasn't in it like that. I think Easy.
Talk to me now, school me, man.
You know what I'm saying? It was like Easy. It was like Easy E and maybe one other person out of NWA who was really getting it in, like they was rapping about. And so for someone like Nip, who is a complete product of that environment, and like you said, who he's been in the trenches and he's known for pushing the line for his neighborhood, and then for him to turn around and you see him making deals with, I think was it Reebok he made a deal with, made a deal with the Rock Nation, with Jay, or at least Jay was helping him set up the deal. But
it was
he was definitely, like, right before he died, bro, like he was about to come out with shoes, all sorts of things right before he passed. So it's like that machine, he figured out a way to rub elbows with the machine, and he was still in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Not to take nothing from him or nobody else, but I said it like that in regards to, like, he looked like and talked like other people that came from that breed. And when I said when he wasn't a new breed, but I said he was an individual because I really don't know the elaborate details of those people that look like and walk like, that reach success, and maybe the things that they do just they didn't put out there like that or not. I got to consider that. So I just said maybe he's not a new breed because he looked like an all them. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, I feel like you worded it perfect just because of the fact that he was able to reach a different demographic of people, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? Like he was able to let people know in his age group and the way he saw life, the people that saw life the way he did, that this is real. Like you can really make this happen. You can set up a spot where you can buy real estate in your own neighborhood and invest in your own neighborhood. You can do that. You can start with just having a store where you're selling white tees and socks and you know what I'm saying, little things like that. Like this is possible. And to be honest with you, the examples will always evolve. You know what I'm saying? Like for us, our examples for that was the Pacs, right? And if you compare Pac and Nip, they're totally different people, totally different attitudes. But in the 90s, that's what we needed. Because we needed that like thug life, revolutionary,
right,
cool shit. You know what I'm saying? Like we needed that.
Yeah.
But with Nip, it wasn't about being cool. It wasn't about thug life. It was about business. Like straight up. Like he was talking about 401ks, royalty checks. You know what I'm saying? Like he was rapping about things where you never heard Pac, bro, talking about getting an LLC in Vegas because it's cheaper. He wasn't talking about shit like that. But Nip what?
It has its relevancy to the time. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah, it's what we needed, man. That's a beautiful thing, man. I feel with our culture is that no matter where we are, geographically, spiritually, politically, we always find a way to push back and show people our genius. You know what I'm saying? Like when people talk about soul music, I always tell people all the time, it's like we didn't name it soul music. That was given to us because of what happens when people hear that type of music. You know what I mean? Like there's no comparison when you hear somebody sing from the soul. And so when it comes to that, and then when that translates into our sports, for the longest time, a lot of different types of sports that we were in, not only was it we weren't allowed to play, but then when we did, it's like it was different. You know what I'm saying? The Jackie Robinsons, the Dr. J's, and the Tiger Woods, and all this excellence where we push when there's always resistance, and we always show this beautifulness. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like this is out of this world in regards to how somebody's doing this. For me, it's that same thing that I remember when you was talking about when you was you said they had you in county for a few months, and you said all you could do is think about them kids, those babies of yours, every day, every night, and you cried because there was something inside of you that that told you this is what's most important. Any other time that you've ever done a bid, that didn't happen. So it's that same thing, that divinity that I feel like, to me, it's like I said, it's more of it's just us, it's our people. It's that thing to survive, that perseverance. You know what I mean? And so just to segue back to you in regards to your perseverance in the situation that we left off in part one, and just to remind our viewers, at the end of part one, you was in the MAC. And if people don't know what the MAC is, tell the folks what the MAC is and where the MAC is and what it is.
The Oklahoma State Penitentiary, McAlester, Oklahoma, McAlester Penitentiary, maximum.
And it's a max. Is there certain levels of max, or is it?
Man, before I ever went there, they told me it used to be like McAlester itself. I heard they got a minimum outside somewhere, but when you talk about the back, it's the one behind the brick wall. You know what I'm saying? And I heard once before behind the brick wall they had a unit that was considered medium open dorm. Imagine how treacherous that motherfucker was. But
Right,
yeah,
right.
but it's maximum security though.
I was gonna ask you, bro, what did you do to pass the time? Did you read?
Read, man, and work out. You know what I'm saying?
Read and
Calisthenics.
work out.
You know.
Like, was you legit reading like and working out as much as you say? Because you know a lot of people say that, and especially with the reading too. Like, was it something for you where it really helped you escape?
Yeah, most definitely. In the max, like for me, reading. I mean, you really have much to do. You know,
Right.
you fortunate enough to be on the level, eligible enough to buy a TV and have the money. You have a TV, but you know, I wasn't always fortunate at times, like to have the level. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to, you know, have no misconducts and things. To
Right.
have that 3 or 4 to buy a TV, and so I read a
Right.
lot. Reading, I was just trying to, you know, educate myself. You know, it wasn't for really the entertainment. It was to, you know, learn and grow. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because
Right.
you know, when you incarcerated, you know, you become you know, we have action at a lot of the easy, accessible things that you know entertain and come about so easy. So of course, you know, your mind is going to think above and beyond what you have been used to. You know, survival. You know, and for me, it was all self-help books, like educational, like you know, this business, things of that nature. You know,
Right. Right.
to the urban and all of that.
The protocol. You know, for me, bro, the best way to explain to break down what I'm about to say is like you know, I don't want to say I'm claustrophobic, but I don't like being in really small rooms and tight, you know what I'm saying, tight places. And
Yeah,
so I feel like that that got worse anytime, you know, like I would sit down and it's something where from the, you know, from the cuffs, you know, when they'll put you on a bench and you just sit like this for some time, like I
yeah.
don't like that. Like I don't like the closeness of everything like that.
For a person like that, boy, it could be real traumatizing, man.
Well, and
And
that's what I'm saying. Like now, for me, I feel like it's the older I get, the more I don't like being bottled in and like that. So for you, how was
man,
that?
just imagine being like caged in with another person of the same sex and you stuck for years,
Hell no, nah, bro.
going to sleep, waking
Same
up,
size. He's just as big as you.
eat, sleep, shit, piss. That's what in the max. You know what I'm saying? Come on now, like,
Hell no, nah, bro. For real.
hey, big though. I ain't, you know,
Mm.
I'm not laughing at nobody going through that. I'm
No, I know
laughing
what you mean, though.
pain and joy to not be in there anymore.
Right,
But
right, right, right.
you know what I'm saying? People going through that just like crazy. And for anybody that ever been there and know
Well,
better,
and that's what about, you know what I'm saying, the etiquette,
one.
you know, cell etiquette. Let's talk about cell etiquette because, you know, um, there is a certain level of law that has to be maintained in the cell, right? Like, and
I
if you
mean,
break those laws, like,
you gotta, you know, of course, you know, you're gonna have some civilization wherever you're at. You know what I'm saying? You got
so
that's
for
like
you, like, so that's what I'm saying.
survival.
Like, did you ever have like a celly that was just never took showers? Like, you had to sit him down and tell him, like, yo, like this really can't get bad for you if you don't go take that shower.
Nah, nah, I've never had that. You know what I'm saying? That right there, and like penitentiary, that's gonna be like rookie mistakes or something for somebody that's never been there. I've never had a celly that was fresh in.
Right, right, right.
But you know, it is some things that become irritable. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want happening. You know, so
Like what?
implement some new shit. You know what I'm saying? That
Like what though? What would annoy you? What would annoy you that Sally would be doing?
Being normal shit. To be honest, man, I'm just telling you how messed up it is. You know, everybody's gonna have gas. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Right.
uh, and you're gonna need to go to the bathroom at whenever your body needs to go, not just at a certain time. So
Right.
stuff like that. Like, you know, you sleeping in the bathroom, you know, you living in this motherfucker. You steady gotta go at certain times, it'll become irritable.
So you put the curtain up?
Yeah, of course, you know. Put your little sheets and curtains up over the man, you know, come up with some shit, man. You know,
Yo,
the
I'll
string
tell you.
from here to the bunk or something, you know, it's just
I'm gonna tell you a funny story. One time I was in there and this one cat, he was, you know, handling his business, right? And put the curtain up. And so we either way, like, you know, we're still chopping it up, right? We're still talking about it, whatever it was. We're just shooting the shit.
yeah.
and the curtain fell on him. Curtain fell on him, bro. He didn't know what to do. And we all sat there with the eyes closed like this, going until he was done doing what he had to do.
Yeah.
And then and then he had to handle the curtain all by himself. Like, but that shit was so funny, bro. Just because it's like it's such a you feel like you're in a whole different divide. You know what I'm saying? It's a great way to create like your own sense of privacy. You know what I mean? Like it definitely helps with that, especially when you cooped up.
Survive, man. Survival is a must, man. You gotta do what you gotta do. But that's the whole purpose of this platform is to, you know, help people become aware and proactive against, you know, subjecting themselves to imposing inhumane things like that into their lives, man. Because
Right.
you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know.
Did it show you? Did it teach you to be more sanitary being in there, or did it, or did it do the opposite effect?
No, I think it made me like just naturally be more sanitary. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Such a disgusting environment, and so you're so used to, you know, you're more turned up on sanitary. If that's even the word, you know, you're more turned up on your cleanliness.
Straight up, yeah, it's a word. That's leveling up.
Yeah, you know.
What about when it comes to for you? Like I said, so you said you were reading books. Were you, when it was about time for you to come back out to the world? Was there any apprehension? Were you hesitant? Did it mess with you mentally? Because like I said, with some people, including myself too, like mentally, it will kind of, you know what I'm saying? It'll leave a little something there just because that's something that a human being is naturally not supposed to go through. So how was that for you on your way out, in the sense when you knew, it was getting close?
I walked out of there and I was ready, you know what I'm saying? And took off, you know, and did my thing.
Right.
You know, of course, all plans don't go as planned all the time. You know, there's detours and things, but you got to stay down, you know, no matter what, you know.
Right.
Stay striving for what you really desire, you know what I mean? And you're going to get it, you know what I'm saying? But, like, I did walk away with some, what they call, some type of things that affected me. What they say, I institutionalized or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? In certain ways of hostility, you know what I'm saying?
That's definitely a thing, you know?
The lines of respect, like it was, you know, but and didn't even realize it, you know what I'm saying? Like, because naturally I'm a nice guy, you know?
Right.
Sharing, like, you know, I'm positive, you feel me? So I didn't even realize a lot of things, you know.
Well, for you, what was it that made you realize that you are different? You know, what was it? Was it a temper? Was it? That's what I'm saying. That's why, like, Was it you didn't like being around a bunch of people? What was it for you that made you go, I'm not like how I used to be?
Just yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call it a temper, but like a borderline of words that can be considered respect or disrespect, you know,
I see.
or a certain way it was delivered, or you know what I mean, you know, this.
Absolutely. Like the way somebody said something and how they said it was
Yeah,
important.
yeah, living that life for some years and how you like that, and you don't even really try to be like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
then have you kind of aggressive too, though, and you don't know it. You know what I mean?
Hey, real shit.
Yeah, real.
I mean, was it something? How long has it been till present day, till today? How long has it been for you since you've been all the way out? Like,
Let me see. I discharged October 14, 2011.
okay, so what? 8 years, maybe 8, 9 years,
Yeah, eight. I mean, like an eight piece for sure. Or
right?
eight change.
Is there still remnants of those quote unquote institutionalized thoughts, feelings, emotions? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't believe that experience will never obviously like go away from who you are, right? But like I said, to the point where you still feel the effect, to the point where it's like, do you still feel a level of being institutionalized?
No, no, not on like that. But
Right.
I feel the effects of being institutionalized in the way of the rights is gone.
Mm,
I mean, like, you know, I'm gonna forever be a violent felon
mm,
on paper. You know what I mean?
mm,
Oh,
mm. You bring up a good point there, man. That's
and
a
so, and as a changed man, a family man, you know, I'm not even allowed to, you know, protect mines with arms, you know, against even if I'm doing in the right, you know what I'm saying? I can't possess this piece of protection, you know what I'm saying? So I
right.
feel like that, you know what I mean? Uh it's just man, and as far as like trying to get employment, you know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
that's major. I've seen people, man, it's man, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, the crazy
People,
thing is too, bro, is that you know, certain states, like I'm reading right now that in Maine and Vermont, felons never lose a right to vote, even while they're even incarcerated.
mm,
16 states, including Washington, D.C., felons lose their voting rights only while incarcerated and receive automatic restoration upon release. Um, in 21 states, felons lose voting rights during incarceration and for a period of time after, typically while on parole or probation. Voting rights are automatically restored after this time period. Former felons may also have to pay an outstanding fine. So I see that, and then I heard in New York that they passed a law where felons can start voting. Here we go.
and
Andrew Cuomo issued an executive order removing the restriction on parolees. So yeah,
you,
man. Besides
check,
the voting, what else
check
does it? What's up
check
with
it
it?
out.
Huh?
Speaking of voting, here's another example of how it has affected me and made me institutionalized in a sense
Huh?
to where being that experience and seeing how the government is, I now currently presently feel that voting is nothing but a big fugazi event. Like it doesn't matter. You know what
Why
I
you feel
mean?
like that?
Because like you're going, this is somebody else's system. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That control that they
Right.
have created, not with you. but they have created amongst themselves and then brought it to you in power of it and saying, hey, you got to do this and do this. And like, come on now. You think they're going to allow your opinion to necessarily have some power, behind the scenes power? You know
Right,
what I mean?
right, right.
All it is a big census thing. You know what I'm saying? For them to go ahead, man, that's the way it has affected me as well. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely.
Just keep it honest, you know.
Well, you and unfortunately a lot
But
of
I'm living
others.
and I'm learning. I'm living and I'm learning still yet though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's definitely affected you and a lot of people that look like us, and then also Mexicans too. Because predominantly in these county jails and prisons, predominantly it's African American people and Mexican people, and unfortunately, when our voting rights are taken away and restricted, like you said, we don't have an opinion on what happens. So then when there is um those remember like you go downtown in New York, you go into those doors and you come in, another person come out, you come in, another person come out.
Robert. Yeah.
Yeah, revolving door. I'm sorry, I can't believe I just forgot the
Yeah.
word. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
like we are essentially just it's a revolving door of us coming in and out of prison systems. And then at a young age you start off with an F on your report card and it stays that way until you're grown, and then you can't get any permit. You don't have an opinion on what's going on in your community. You don't have a place in that community, and you stay in and out of the outskirts of that community, where the prisons are, right outside of the community.
Mm-hmm.
So you're absolutely right, bro. You are absolutely right on that. And I wish it's something that we should realize sooner than later, that that's another way
But
for us to not have an opinion
but
in regards to the environment that we come from.
I gotta say this though, you know, much respect. Shout out to all the people and brothers and sisters that's out there smashing, like to make changes in the laws, that know the laws, that's been studying it. Because what I said, where I'm coming from, I come from a place of like I'm ignorant to the laws like that. Like I'm not coming like I'm just super intelligent. When I was studying things, I wasn't studying the very laws that I was in prison for. I wasn't in that mind frame. You know what
Right,
I mean? And
right,
so
right,
I'm speaking from, a place I don't know on that. You know what I'm saying?
right.
I know it's realer than that out here. I'm just saying, that was my effects of incarceration. And I'm putting my story out there so that hopefully the next can, be proactive and don't, go through the things, subject themselves to the things that I did myself and
Mhm,
have these
mhm.
effects in life so they can carry on more better, beginning with my sons, my family, and the community, neighborhood community, everybody. You know what I mean? That's what this.
Absolutely.
That's what this about.
We got to
That's
stop that pattern, man.
yeah, for real.
We got to stop
Yeah,
that pattern, that
yeah.
revolving door. Okay, so we're getting close to discharge day, right? We're reading books to pass the time. We're making spreads with the celly, and we're chopping it up about the outside world about what we're gonna do. For you, was it something where you were ready to change your ways when you got out, and is that what happened? Like that, take me to a week before discharge date, and then right when it was discharge date, what was your mindset then?
Man, remember I told you I was 3 weeks till discharging, so I can take you back to how I was feeling then, and then then when I
Right,
got on pause for a whole year, and then from there. So going back to that 3 week period before I was
that's ridiculous, bro.
discharged, got pump faked on me.
That shit is crazy.
So check it out. Yeah, I was feeling like I had things lined out. I was manifesting stuff. I had business plans written out that I did get out and, manifest, put in place. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm, hmm.
Things came out. However, that's what I did. I went and got in business school. I did everything I said I was gonna do. You know what I'm saying? And I did, reach some things that they put it on detour. Man, some incidents did occur. We're
Right,
gonna
right,
get to that. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Yeah, we haven't spoken on any of that yet, but we're gonna get to it. Man. So I mean, like what you said, you basically painted it out, like all these planning back to freedom, back to family, and doing all of that. But what's
Was it
crazy?
back to the? That's what I'm saying, because for me, bro, what makes it harder to to change things is that when you come home, or whether you've been away, or you go to work, or you go to school, but then you come home to a different environment from the one you've been in, right? Like when we were
Right.
talking about how we both grew up in Edmond, it's a nice suburb, right? But
Yeah.
then it's like where I went home was different from where you went home after we got out of school. So when you leave a place like the Mac and you are coming home to your, like, is your intent to stay in what you came from, or to completely separate yourself from that? Don't talk to them people. Don't go to those type of spots. Like, what was it in your mind? Like, were you trying to turn over that leaf?
I did. Hey, check it out. I did. I wasn't even really just thinking like that. I was just busy getting it, right?
Right. Hold
And
on. What do you mean? What do you mean? Hold on. What do you mean getting it?
getting money, getting, what I'm saying, accumulating,
Just
getting
for the
back
folks
to
so they understand what getting it
home.
means.
I mean, getting back to life, getting a home, establishing myself, getting home, getting
Okay.
transportation,
Okay.
getting money,
Yeah.
what I'm saying, getting situated in life, you feel me?
Yeah.
Getting
Yeah.
foundated, what I'm saying? And so, but when I did step back into the environment, I'll BS you not, man. They came through and lit us up on the drive-by, man. Yeah, man. I had a fresh chicken in the car and everything, man.
Mm.
Fresh. Hey, I had to dive in the mud, man. They
So
came through
so
and lit us
hold
up.
on, before you go in. So it's like, take me just like maybe 10-15 minutes before that happened. Like, what were y'all doing?
Before we get too far into that, I gotta finish telling you about that discharge,
Okay.
because
Okay.
I was telling you about the 3 week, like when I was down to 3 weeks, when
Right.
that incident occurred, and so I stayed a whole extra year. So upon the next new discharge date coming home, the way that they operated,
Mm-hmm.
they kept me in.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even think I was going home. Like I felt like they got power. They gonna pull some more BS. You know what I mean? I'm in
Right.
here.
Right.
They got power. What can I do? I'm in this, this death castle, this dungeon. But anyway, that's how I felt. It wasn't real till they came that morning. Till they came that morning, and I walked out the gate. It was like the world just opened up to me. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
But yeah, like about I had just this camp prior to the fast forward prior to that incident I was telling you about when they came through and lit us up. I just left my apartment, you know what I'm saying, and you know, fresh dress, sliding through the holler at the homies, and man,
Was it just during the
shot.
day you was just moving around, or
Just at nighttime, you know what I'm saying. I had just left my spot, my crib, and
right, right,
up, talking to several homies and things, everything good, just cooling, no fooling, and next time, out of nowhere. I don't know what been going on. I ain't been in the field, like,
right.
mingling. I'm fresh out, you feel me? So,
Mm-hmm.
I ain't really fresh out. I had been out some months. You know what I'm saying? That was the first time that I've actually just really just posted up.
Right, right.
People for posting up, that means, going to the area, of congregation, amongst
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
constituents, you know. So I did that, and they came through and lit us up, man.
Mm.
That was an eye opener. Like, oh man,
Was anybody hit around you?
mm-mm.
So what was your
Nobody,
first? You said you dove in the mud. What'd you do?
nobody hit. Shit, I hit the floor, hit the ground. What else I'm gonna do?
I mean, you can run. You can. There's a lot of things you can do.
I mean, you know, I'm gonna get
You
low.
can freeze up. You can freeze up. There's a lot of
Right,
things you can do.
right. Yeah, but my instinct, I mean, when I'm by a vehicle, I drop,
Right, right.
dove down. You know, that's all I can do.
In that instance, is it like how people say your life flashes before your eyes and you see all your loved ones? Does it go down like that, or is it something where it's not like that? You just hold on for the ride.
Just like wow, like damn, that could have been it.
Mm, mm.
That could have been it.
I heard you. Sometimes I heard you can hear him. You can hear him passing you.
Yeah,
It's something where it gets that fast and slow. You know what I'm saying? Like does like was it something where like everything slowed down, or did it just happen fast for you? Like how was it? How was it mentally for you when it cracked off?
shit. My vision was I seen it fast and I seen it slow all at the same time.
All at the same time.
I mean, shit, it was. Yeah, it was a hell of an experience, man. You know.
I can imagine. Yeah, man. I can only imagine.
Mm.
Something like that, bro. Like, you would like to assume that's gonna make you back away from that type of life, right? Was that the case for you? Like, what did that make you go, whoa, 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 whoa? I need to pump my brakes
Yeah.
and call it a day, or was it something where you felt like,
I mean, I wasn't even in the field though. You know what I mean? I wasn't in the field like that. But as far as like mingling, of course, because I was busy trying to get it. Like, of
right, right,
course, I'm gonna. I don't even got time to
right?
bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
So it didn't make you want to get back into things, or
Oh
was
no,
it something that made you want to stay away from things even more?
no. All I seen was death and destruction, penitentiary, all that bullshit. No, it didn't make me want to get back into none of them things. You
Right,
know?
right.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy being locked up, you know what I mean, caged up, you know what I mean? Uh
Did,
not free to do as I truly desire, you know what I'm saying?
at
Nah,
any
it
point,
made me
did
want to go
you
back
ever
there.
look at it as a badge of honor? You know what I'm saying? Most, you know how it is, bro. When people come, especially when we're growing up, if somebody's going going in or they just got out, they're
Yeah.
respected, right? They're tough. They you know
I mean,
they'll be given a OG status or whatever. So it's like for
yeah.
you, when did you stop looking at it like that? What, like, was there ever a time where you thought that it made you a tougher person?
When I got locked up the second time, I stopped looking at it like that. But yeah, that first bid when I was locked up at 17, hit the yard at 18, yeah.
Right, right, right.
Of course, I thought that was, cool. You
Mhm.
feel? I thought that made me gangster, more harder, more popular and all that. And which it did bring all of that, but that ain't worth nothing. What is fame? You know what I mean?
Real shit.
What is that? That's the wrong kind of fame anyway. I want fame that's going to really gain life. You know what I mean? Not
Right,
nothing.
right, right. So the second bid, it wasn't as cool no more.
No, no, not at all.
I don't blame you, bro.
No.
Especially like you said, when you going, you've been there, and then as soon as you come back out, you start seeing situations that could put you right back in. Um, when when you got to that point of going, okay, that was a close call. I'm good. How did you carry on? Like, were you still walking that fine line, one foot in the street, one foot out? Uh, what was it for you for the next few years after that situation? Did you get into anything else where it was like, yo, I'm still doing too much, or I'm too close to someone doing too much? You know what I'm saying? Like, was that hard for you?
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, that was hard. You know what I mean? Yeah, it made me, pay attention more of people's personalities, you know, that I'm around, like
Right, right,
potential disasters, like, you know, just people, what people do, period. You know, the lifestyles they live in, of course. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Maybe, you know, I was more careful. I became more careful, more conscious of, you know, what I was doing, who I was dealing with. You know what I mean? In life, period. You know what I mean?
Did you get in? Did you get into any other hustles since you weren't as active on the banging tip? Right, since you realized that you know
You know?
there's not much. You know what I'm saying? There's no money. You know, it's not like you're getting much. You know, so it's not like there's a lot of money in that and safety, or there's chances of going back. Um, were there any other hustles where you thought to yourself like, all right, I might as well dabble in something different? Legal or illegal? Like, is there any? I mean, since it's all in the past now, you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah. You know, it's all in the past. You know,
But
I
like I
got
said, I don't want you to say anything that you don't. I don't want you to say something that you will regret either. So
yeah,
it's like
yeah. I
if
mean,
you don't want to answer something, all you got to do is not answer and say.
yeah. No, I got you, bro. We good, we good. I got into the
I ain't
streets. I
trying to.
did
I'm not
dabbling.
trying to DJ Vlad you, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, shout out to Vlad. I mean, that's
I'm
I'm
not
rocking
trying to
Vlad.
DJ Vlad you. You know what I mean?
I got into some hustles, of course, man. You know, when I had some scares of going back to the joint
Right, right,
on
right.
a few instances. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You know, so I did with jab in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with women. You know what I mean? And
Hold on. What you mean? Like, what you mean dealing with women? Like, you were just what? Just you were just a player, just dating a bunch of women, making money off of them. Like,
you
like was
remember,
you like a sugar baby with some old women or something? What? Like, what you mean?
I'm gonna just say this: there's a difference between a bitch, a hoe, and a woman. Real to
Right,
me.
right.
And remember, Snoop said, "Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks."
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I mean, for those who understand that lingo,
I'm gonna
uh,
leave it right there
that's
because
what it
you know
is. Yeah.
I'm a
And I'm
changed
I'm
man.
glad you
I'm a
put it.
family man, and I don't, you know, I'm not gonna glorify anything that is. Only thing I'm gonna just put like this: I'm only going to glorify a person being the best them in the most positive manner that they can achieve. You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely,
you try to
absolutely.
do something that you see someone else doing because it might seem cool when you don't really know about that what it really is. You know, educate yourself more. You
Mhm.
know the what it takes. You know, and the possible consequences and things. You know,
Right,
before before you just be so overwhelmed with the influence of what you see shining on the exterior, you know.
right.
So I'm just say I had to throw that in there because like I might be looking a certain kind of way. I might because you know how it is when you're familiar with something, you kind of going back, you get the shine and the glow in your eye because you know
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
just your everything, right? So I don't want to get nobody I don't want nobody getting misconstrued, like I
Well, no,
think
and
it's
that's
cool.
that's why it's like people,
Yeah,
anybody who who's been watching too will understand that everything that we're talking about not only is in the past, but you're speaking of parts of your life. Like I said, man, that these are things that some people have not only never experienced, but they've only seen maybe on TV or something like that. And so,
yeah,
a lot of those things are not only different and extraordinary, but most importantly, they're traumatic. You know what I'm saying? So even you being this honest in regards to your path thus far, like I said, it takes a certain level of bravery. It takes a certain level of being honest with yourself and just putting your cards out there because that story, bro, that journey, there's a lot of people who walk it, but not only can they not talk about it, some of them, you know, they didn't make it out of it. Some of them are in the same place that you said you left in 2011, and then some people are on their way to that place you
mm,
left in 2011. So
mm,
everything that you're talking about, whether it's from that, it's from the banging side, or it's from the side with the women. People walk that walk, bro, and if they know that they can get into that and they change their life and be where you are now, you got a job, you got your family back, you got everything that you need, you healthy. If they know that that's possible, like I said, bro, you've done your job, and all it takes is changing one person's mind about that.
Yeah.
All it takes is changing one person, and then that one person can change someone else's mind about something like that later on in their life. You know,
yes,
so
sir.
that's why I said, even in the beginning, I said it a few times because I can't commend you enough to putting your story out like that, because a lot of people, they don't want to talk about the darkest moments in their lives, bro. A lot of people want to keep that in in their closet and in their heart, in the back of their mind, or whatever it is, right? A lot of people, they don't want to talk about that. So that's what I'm saying. There's a certain level of bravery, and then you're a certain type of person. You're a certain type of person.
Yeah. I
Even
appreciate
growing up,
you. I appreciate you.
you know what I'm saying? It was something where, sorry to interrupt you, but even growing up, it is one of those things where, you were influential with people, right? When people saw you, it's either they gravitated towards you or they hated you. You know what I'm saying? They either loved you or they hated you. So I'm the same way. I have that type of energy where it's like you either love me or you gonna really hate me.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things where people like us, bro, we different. We different. And that's why I feel like your testimony, your story is so important to yourself, to your healing, and to the rest of the viewers and anybody who hears it, bro. For
No
real.
doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Hey, and it's crazy because, like, at the same time, it's therapeutic for me to, just go ahead and open up. Like, I don't
Right.
think it's all that like that because I lived it. You know what I'm saying? But I know that for somebody else who haven't or who's going through something similar, like it could potentially be enlightening. It could spark something in them.
Right.
Some
Right.
type of energy in them or anything. Just anything. It's somebody.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. So when it comes to it, bro, like the hustle, what now when you got out, like did you go straight to getting a job, or was it something where, like I said, you were still like you were dabbling enough, like you were dabbling to other things? Like what was the
Man,
gist? Huh?
man, I did, man, because I'm a hustler. I'm gonna get it. Like I did. Like I cut it some yards and things, man.
Right, right, right. What?
I knew some people that was doing like some construction, like and home improvements and things. I was, trying to accumulate some funds, and at the same time, like, of course, I had women, what I mean, stepping up to the plate, and I was still young, and mind you, have been gone for that little substantial amount of time, and like, you know, I thought I was, getting my stuff together. I was so-called diversify my hustle. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
And
right, right, right.
you
Was
know,
it something for you
anything to
that? My bad. Go ahead. What?
anything to stay away from what took me to the penitentiary. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Which was probably one charge, kicking in the door with a gun, and other than forged instrument, which is cashing a hot check, and uh, eluding, which is took on a high speed chase, which is on the news and all of that. And CDS with intent. I had, I mean, it's all public. You know what I mean? It's possession of a controlled dangerous substance with intent to distribute. You know what I mean? Which was weed, which is the only thing they man, I got that case for a little. Man, it was like a blunt and a digital scale I left in the car, but I got out on the high speed. Eventually got out on foot and got rid of everything else, but left that in the car because I was gonna smoke the blunt
Mm-hmm.
and forgot the scale.
And they got you for it.
riding dirty, man.
Mm,
Riding
mm,
dirty.
mm. Well, and how long ago was that?
That was in about 2005.
Yeah, so back then them laws they were a little more tight. Like they'll hit you for a seed back
Yeah.
then, you know.
I was out on probation anyway from the
Did you
burning
get
bar.
a violation?
Yeah, yeah.
How
Violation.
long did you have to go back for that?
That was when I did that 6.5 stretch.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was only out for 14 months in between time. But yeah.
Mm. So the kids, how was it readjusting with the family and the kids? Like, talk to me about that, man, because you know, I remember you were saying in part one, you were able to have them come visit you. So now, you know, Pops is out, right? Now it's like I can see Pops anytime.
I,
Uh,
was- I,
how was
I,
that for you and readjusting to that?
I mean, it wasn't nothing to it. You know, I wasn't a father at that time, but I would have my kids all the time, like on weekends and most through the summer. Like I would have them with me, but at the same time, I was still doing everything else that I was doing. You know what I mean? House full of women and everything, and I didn't even think nothing of it. I
Right.
thought I was being a father because I had my kids with me. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
now, the man I am today, I look back and I realize I was like not being a father. I was badly influencing my kids, like exposing them to some things that was completely out of line.
Right,
Wasn't
right.
into, I wasn't, man, it was crazy.
I really like how you said that. I thought I was being a father just because they were with me.
Right,
You know, it's like just because they're in the room, that that
right,
that that feeding them and just having them alive
right.
is has got nothing to do with being a father, right?
Man.
Um, I like how you said that. That's real. That's
And,
real.
as consequence, I realized like and subsequently to that one of my sons even spoke to me like, yeah, that's cool. Like you be having hoes, and now I got hoes, and and now he's currently doing a small bid himself. You know what I
Mm,
mean? He's 17 years old.
mm,
You know what I mean?
mm. How?
He,
What's
he,
like? What do you do if you don't mind me asking?
he,
Like,
uh,
what's the charge? I mean,
I mean, just street life. Let me just say that, just street life. But he'll be able to.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
Do you get to
man.
see him? Do you get to go
Yeah,
visit?
yeah, he's a good kid. He was good. He was doing back in sports and school, handling his thing. He just violated probation for pissing dirty. So,
Uh-huh,
but the
uh-huh.
charge was a street life charge. He's a good kid. He got sidetracked. You know what I mean?
Right, right,
But
right.
I'm saying as a
When
consequence, I have responsibility in that. You know what I mean? For real. Because for me,
when you came home, how old was he? Because you said he was the oldest, right?
he's my second to oldest.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when you came home, how old were all of them? Like, were they all pretty young? What was the ages?
They was young. Like when I came home, it was like around nine and 10, around them
Right,
ages. Man,
right.
I'm bad with ages and dates and things, man.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
So, you know, for you, you know how to show the best example. You know, I feel like is what you're doing now, bro. Um, you know, it's like I remember too. It's like on IG, you're all, like you'd be always promoting you know before this COVID thing, you had that job at that lounge. Like I
Yeah,
love
truth,
how
man.
yeah
Truth to be back, Jack. You know what I mean?
yeah. Go ahead,
Back live.
plug truth real quick.
Man. No, I'm just saying though, man. For all the people that been there, know
Nah, that's a good look. That's a good spot. Go tell them where it's at. Tell them what it's called.
man, 4801 North Lincoln Boulevard, man, Oklahoma City, man. You know
There
what
it
I
is.
mean? And man, it's a Truth Lounge and Bar, man. Taco Tuesday, everything will be back in effect here soon, man.
There we go. There we go.
We just planted by Eric, but ready to go for
There
sure.
we
Bigger
go.
than ever.
Yeah, so even that hustle, you know what I'm saying? It's like I'd see on IG you constantly promoting all the different events y'all are having over there. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like, you know, I love how you're setting that example with the young ones, where they seen you doing it one way, and now they're seeing you doing another.
Right.
You know, when it comes to us boys, man, young men, you know, teenagers and all of that, it's hard to talk it into us. You know, I remember growing up, my pops would always tell me what not to do, you know, what to do and what not to do in regards to, you know, to help me in life. And it's like a lot of times I would only listen to, you know, half of it. You know, most of the time it'll go in one ear and not the other. And I didn't care for what he said unless I saw him do it.
Yeah.
Or he whooped my ass. You know what I mean? But the best example though was watching him do it. Because then I had no room to say anything about it because I'm seeing him doing it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah.
So, and let me ask you, you know, what's your plan when they say to you, well, Pops, you did it. You was out here running around, kicking up dust. Like, you know, what's your plan when they say that to you? Because, you know how kids are.
I've gradually become more and more transparent with my sons. You know, I might can't give them all the financial things that they desire and all that. And I even have certain, you know, stigmas myself against that. You know what I mean? I'm a little fast and keep up with this and that. But anyway, I want better for them and I want better for them. But anyway, you know, I just basically like just let them know the real. Like, you know, my mind wasn't right. Like I didn't know any better. You know what I mean? So the things that I've exposed you to, like this isn't the right thing to do, or you know what I mean? Like so, and I'm just now as your father, you know what I mean, your parent, I'm just now waking up to this. So like we basically growing up together, you know what I'm saying? In the light of this, you know what I mean? And I'm the elder, and I'm telling you but I do practice what I preach, you know what I mean? Or teach rather, you know what I mean? So I strive for that. You know, I correct myself. I correct myself openly. I don't throw rocks and hide my hands. I don't do none of that. You feel me? So like it's man, I think that right there alone is building my sons even stronger, you know. Them even just seeing that, you know what I mean? That's giving them something that's abnormal for us looking like us, you know, but it's becoming more popular because I see a lot of us, you know, doing positive things out here, becoming more aware and getting more engaging more as men in our children's lives and women's lives, families' lives, you know what I mean? As a whole, we coming together, we waking up and getting it up, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Proud of everybody, like I love it, you know what I mean? I'm inspired by a lot of people that I see. I got a long list of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Real, you know?
Yeah. No. Everything you're saying is so true, bro. And it's like, you know, I don't have any kids. You know, I live vicariously through my friends like you. You know what I mean? I got a god baby. To me, she's like mine. But so that motivation, knowing that you've got other lives that you're responsible for, and then you're also responsible for the way they look at the world, because the way they feel inside is how they're going to perceive the rest of the world, right? If they're angry inside, then they're going to be mad at the world and have a chip on their shoulder. If they are understanding and content inside, then they'll look at the world with patience and content. You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate, like I said, that you're trying to find that balance within yourself first, because that's where it starts. You know, because you're raising the next generation. You're raising tomorrow. So if you understand, so if today is okay, tomorrow will be even better.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so, like, for you to fix yourself like that, like I said, you are becoming the best example that you can put in front of them. You're becoming the best example that you could ever say. You know what I mean? Because you're walking what you would be saying.
Right.
So you don't even have to say it, because all they got to do is look up and they'll see it. You know? And so that's why it's like I feel like that's what's most important. And I love seeing that growth in somebody where they understand their importance in the situation. Whether for you, it's in your family, it's in it's in your neighborhood. Uh, you know, it's funny. I didn't even know this about you until we linked back up like a year or two ago. I didn't know you were into horses as much as you are. Like I
Yeah,
never knew that
yeah,
that you had cowboy in your blood, like
yeah,
legit cowboy. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like
uh,
so.
yeah.
So let me ask you. Have you always when you know what I'm saying? Like when you were active, did you ever were you still tapping into the cowboy side, or was the cowboy side put to the back burner because you was in that other lifestyle? And so since you out of that, were you able to reconnect to the to that natural side of who you really are?
It was like really on the back burner, but I would like, every now and again, go to the rodeo and jump on one of my people's horses or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But since all that's
Let me take her for a spin real quick.
yeah, yeah, but I've been back on it though. Quite some time.
Yo,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Set
bro.
up, trail riding and things, man. It's pretty fun. It's just I don't know, a nature thing with me. I
Well,
like
tell
going.
the folks too. Tell the folks. Sorry to interrupt you, but tell the folks about how much we have cowboy living in our blood, because a lot of people don't know about places like bowling. A lot of
Yeah.
places, they don't know about our rodeos. They don't know about all this. So it's like, tell the folks about how, where does it come from in your family in regards to riding horses and
Well,
having a homestead and all that.
my family come from Bowley,
Yeah.
and like my grandparents, great grandparents, on like
Bowling, where's tell the because bro, some people gonna watch this, they're gonna be in China. Like they don't know where just Bowling is. Where's Bowling at?
Bowley, Oklahoma.
There we go.
It's about, let's say, about 45 to an hour east of Oklahoma City.
There we
You know,
go.
Black,
Population.
Black town. It used to be really booming when the train used to run through there back in the day. It
Yeah.
was booming. They had, but it's always been a cowboy town, though. And once a year we had a famous rodeo there. You know, uh, and that's just my family where they from.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
But a lot of
always,
black cowboys in there.
yeah, lots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us about in the rodeos. Is it the same typical rodeo? Just they got what? You ride the bulls, they got
They
the
got
barrel
bull,
racing.
bull riding, barrel racing, the Pony Express, which is a baton race on horses. You can't get
Damn.
calf roping.
Yeah.
Uh, the man, they got the things for the kids. What they call I think they call it sheep dogging, where the kids, I guess, ride a sheep. You know,
Yeah, yeah. They ride the sheep like a bull, right?
yeah, kind of like little bitty kids. Maybe 4 or 5 years old or younger. As long as they're big enough to hold on.
Yeah.
Uh,
Little cowboys and girls in training.
yeah, just what, steer wrestling, man. For y'all that don't know, just Google Black Rodeos. You'll see events, because I'm probably not naming them all. My
Absolutely.
favorite, my favorite is the bull riding. I got an older son and a couple cousins that ride bulls.
Oh, so
And
you got some folks in the family that ride the bulls.
yeah, yeah.
So is there? I mean, well, I guess right now, since we got that whole this whole thing's going on with the outside, all of that's kind of put on hold. But around what time of the year does Bowley usually have rodeos?
Around this time of year, I'm not sure. What's this month? Around,
April,
around
May,
May.
May.
Yeah, May. But I believe that was on hold. But yeah, it was just a rodeo outside Oklahoma City in Choctaw, Oklahoma, this past
Mm.
weekend. So
Oh,
the
for real?
rodeo, back up. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta let me know about that, bro.
Yeah, they kicking back up.
Right
Yeah.
on, right on. So yeah, man, like, and so and the main reason why, like I said, like I brought that up is because those parts of your life you were able to show and experience not only for yourself, but then to let folks know too about things about you where I grew up with you, but I didn't even know that part of you because you were so entrenched in a different life. You know what I'm saying? You was on a whole nother lane in a whole different mode. So it's really, like I said, it's really cool to see those different layers of somebody when they get to be themselves. They
Right.
really get to explore who they actually are, how they were raised. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not saying that other part. I'm not saying that is not. Unfortunately, when it comes to us, man, gangs, tribes, it's in us. It's instinctual. We always, I mean, people, period. But for us, it's always been like, we've always, even just the word tribe. That's an African thing. You know what I mean, right? And it's a black people thing, right? And then, yes, other races and other cultures have gangs, but the way our street gangs are, there's nothing else in the world like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nothing in the world like it. The way, the structure, the idea behind it, right?
Right.
Um, the ideas of Bloods and Crips have overtaken, any other organizations that black people are part of, right? More people talk about that. More people focus on that about us than sororities or fraternities or anything else. But the reason why I'm pointing that out is because we need that community, that sense of community, as young men, young women. We need to feel like we're part of something, like anybody else. So to be able to understand that, and then you realize that your family that you actually have, that's your blood, is also just as important. You know what I mean? To be able to make that adjustment, like I said, man, it's hard to do, and only a few of us can do that, right? Only a few can separate themselves from that life that you used to live and turn into what you are right now, which is a family man. You know what I mean? Like, you done gone legit.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong. What do you think?
If a few can do it, you can do it, so to speak. You know what I mean? So it ain't just,
Absolutely.
you know, maybe it's only a few in count right now, but it's a good movement to get on, man. You know what I mean? Get up out of
Right.
the ignorance, strive. And like what you said, I forgot exactly what you said, but it made me think about like mostly people can only think and operate to a level of what they've been exposed to. So, we had these comfort zones. So,
You're right.
I just want to encourage people to strive to get out them comfort zones to really you can really discover who you are. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because you've been in the comfort zone, you've been in these environments for so long, like you might think that's you, but once you go discover something new that enlightens and brings something else out of you you never know you had, you're finding yourself, you're growing. You know what I mean? That we were born to thrive in life.
Facts.
Expand. Expand our horizons. You know what I mean? Like just
Facts.
thrive. So man, just
No, that's facts, bro.
You I say do that, man. Just try to do something that you never done before.
Right.
Something positive. Make sure it's positive, has no negative consequences or anything to it. But just try that. If you don't read, pick up a book and just read. You never know. You might fire something up and you just or exercise or just do something.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Open up about something, to somebody or something. You know what I mean? Just
Mhm.
do something.
No, you said it best. Get out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
Get out of your comfort zone. Get out of always being safe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, that's well said. That's
And
well said.
another level of that is don't get stagnated. You know what I mean? Don't get stagnant. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
and because like we're meant to thrive. That's an action word. You know what I mean? Thrive. You know, just keep going, keep pushing. Don't
Well, and
plateau.
you raise a good point because we even say it too. You hear it in the music. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us will even say like, man, I'm just trying to get it how I live. I'm just trying to survive. And what you just said right there, there's a difference between surviving and thriving.
Right.
Surviving is just barely making it.
Right.
Your head is above water.
Yeah.
Thriving, you on a raft.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you in a John boat, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you doing good for
Yeah.
yourself. So yes, like you're absolutely right. Like let's not look at it as it's time to just it's time to survive. It's time to
Right.
thrive, man. It's time to actually live that life. Like these young people be saying, live your best life.
Right. And I don't say that from a place of perfect, you know what I mean? Of course, when I say that, I'm speaking to myself as well, first and foremost, and then, I'm to everyone else, when I say that,
No, that's facts, my bro. That's facts. I'm glad you said it like that too, because like I said, there's a difference, and I'm glad you're differentiating. Like,
we all in this beautiful struggle together, you know what I mean? We might, we need to be in it together, but we're all in this beautiful struggle, I say it's a beautiful struggle because I have understand it, you know. So I can say it's beautiful. Others might say it's just ugly. It's an ugly struggle, but it's beautiful when you start coming into more knowledge. You know what I mean? Because like it's nothing that you can't do, nothing that you
right,
can't overcome. Like
right.
it's
It
okay
is a
to
beautiful struggle.
have confidence. You know what I mean? And just smash, man. Go for it. Don't just think about it. Be about it. Like for real.
Nah, it is. It is a beautiful struggle, and I like how those two words, beautiful struggle, is they're oxymorons, right? Like one's a good. It's
Mike
like
said that, man, and that's he right. You
yeah,
damn
it's like bittersweet, right? Like,
right.
but the reason why it's a beautiful struggle is the same way. Like let's say this was a battery, right? This is positive. This is negative,
Mm-hmm.
right? You need both for this battery to work.
Yeah,
So so positive, beautiful, negative struggle.
yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
I did.
We need both of those. We need both of those. We need the beauty and we need that struggle for us to get to this moment right here of understanding. For
Yes,
you to get to a place of happiness, of balance, having, you know what I'm saying, of being around your kids again and being doing the family thing again, getting back to what you used to do with riding horses and doing what your family does, reconnecting with them. You had to go through that struggle to get to that beauty, man. It has to rain, it has to thunderstorm for you to have a rainbow and have a sunny day. After that burn, a field burns down, that ground is more nourished because of that
right,
field being burned.
right,
And whatever grows after that is going to grow even better than what was there.
right,
You
right,
see what I'm saying? So what you're saying, man, there's, like I said, it's like when people live 9 lives, they see things like you're saying, where you can say things like that, where it's like if someone has lived like you live, you understand what a beautiful struggle means.
right,
I
right.
like that. We're gonna have to call this episode, this part two, a beautiful struggle. If
Hey,
that's
man,
cool with you,
I'm not opposed to that, man.
I can dig that. I like that. That's a good, it's a good way of summing all this up. At least part two. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
So we did kind of tease the folks in regards to some of the other stuff that's going on. So how about this? How about we start off, like we're gonna leave off by starting off on a story, right? And then before we get to the specifics of the story, you know what I'm saying? Like we'll back out And we'll be back in tomorrow, or maybe in 2 days or something, right? Like maybe in 2 days we'll come back and do part 3.
Yeah, yeah.
So for me, like I said, man, like what scared me the most about everything you done been through, bro, is what you about to touch on right now.
Ooh-wee.
You about to set the stage. Before we even get to that event that completely changed your life and could have basically ended it, tell me how that day started. Tell me how that day started, bro. And
Ooh,
and then you know what I mean? And then it's like, yeah, go ahead, do your thing.
man. That day started like another beautiful day, man.
Right.
I was in I was attending OSU OKC for business management.
Mm-hmm.
Woke up, to a fat bankroll. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Going to get some more fresh to death, hit the mall. It's the weekend, I had a thing of I was clubbing every weekend, you know what I mean? My thing,
yeah,
double shots of Patron all night, man.
right.
It was just another beautiful day, you know what I mean? Just having
Yeah,
a my
yeah,
way, you know what I'm saying? You know, around this Oklahoma City and eating good, living good, you know what I mean? Up, you know what I'm saying? And had just established my business, my first business, Exotic Features. It just got that registered. Hadn't just officially launched. I had a few employees under interview, you know what I mean? And getting some policies and procedures under wraps and things, man. Just living, man. You know what I'm saying? It was
yeah, yeah, yeah.
lovely, man. It still is, you know what I mean? But going back to then, just man, yeah, thriving. You hear me?
Driving.
Thriving, man. Yeah, really putting in place. At that point, I was really, really putting in that work and manifesting, putting things, making it happen on the sense of on the transition of
So you
just
was after life.
yeah on the transition of just because my business is street doesn't mean it had to be in the street. When I was at McAllister, I seen that on TV. I first seen that movie Notorious for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
McAllister when Puffy told Biggie that, and I took it as like, dang, I got to looking at people that was like had you know legal businesses that people in the streets operate like that illegally. So, but anyway, at that point, at this day that we talking about, I was living in them moments. I was, man, it was lovely, beautiful day.
Right.
Way, having my beautiful way. Yep. And you want me to say what happened? You
Yeah,
want
like I said to the moments before, because was there something where
okay. After shopping at the mall, go home, get dressed, link up with my peeps. We go to the club. We having our way. I had it already set up. I rode to the club with my peeps. I already had it set up for my girl to pick me up, to
mm-hmm.
meet me at this after hours location where I was going to buy us food. And I was going to get in the car with her and I was going to be done for the night, go home. So, but that never happened. Went to one club. People I came with, my partners I went with, they wanted to go to a strip club. I'm like, no, I don't want to go. Nothing's really exciting about a strip club.
Right.
We turned up in here. You know what I'm saying? Plus, several people I know is here that's going to the after hours club. So I'm like, y'all go ahead. I'm good. So the party continued.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really the last. I mean, I remember more after that. I remember by people telling me what happened. Then again, it came back like, yeah, okay, yeah, well, yeah. But my last actual visual remembrance was what I just told you, being in the club, telling me, hey, I'm good, woo woo. But, as far as my plans and things, after being told, I remember it like that. You know what I mean? So,
Shit. You don't remember, like that's how much memory was cut out.
Right. Right. From my own, but after being
Right.
told what had happened,
It starts coming back.
then I remember like, okay, yeah, I did leave that club to go to the after hours club to get food, and got out of the car, and then that's when the next string of events unfolded. You know?
Okay, so before you go any further, let's just stop right there, and we'll pick up on what happened on part 3 of your war stories. And
But
man, bro, like
but can you see it though?
I can see it. Damn. So god damn. I can see that. And that's that, bro.
That's what happened next. That's what happened next, man. And you know, it's really like it's a blessing to be here, you know.
Absolutely. That it is, my bro.
Around that, man. It's pretty wild.
That it is, my bro. So we're gonna end it right there, folks. Join us on part 3. Like I said, when we continue on in regards to Jermon and his journey. I can't thank you enough, my bro. Like I said, thank you for your time. I will see you in a couple days, so we can, we'll do part 3 and start wrapping this up. But like I said, I can't thank you enough in regards to talking about all this stuff that, I mean, I'd like to assume I know is uncomfortable because, you're talking about things in your life that have happened that are not only traumatic, but it's things that a lot of people, they choose to sweep under the rug and keep to themselves. So for you to be able to be this boisterous about it, I thank you for that. And I'm telling you that you will help and change somebody's life because of the things you have been through. I'm confident in that. And because of how genuine and honest you are, it's going to take you far, bro, because obviously you are destined for more, right? That's why you still here and you still kicking.
Absolutely.
So sky is not the limit for you, my bro.
No,
And I can't wait to see what else you're gonna do. At the end of part 3, I would like for you to tell the folks what you have going on, because we didn't talk in regards to all the things that you're cooking up on your YouTube channel too. So on part 3, I would appreciate it if you would let the folks know and get them kind of situated in regards to what you got coming up. Folks, y'all see Jermon's IG, y'all see his YouTube page. Please go over there and subscribe to the man's YouTube page. Check him out on IG. He's got some really big things coming up. And so with all that being said, this is
appreciate you. And really cut you off, but I appreciate you, bro. You know
no,
what I
you
mean?
good. Go ahead.
For allowing the opportunity to even speak, and get it out there, because
Absolutely.
it has been something I've been sitting on, and since the incident of what we about to talk about, a lot of people really close to me, like family wise, was really like, man, you should, and there was a lot of pressure on that, and I'm like, man, I'm no role model and this and that, and so throughout time, I've come to peace, and here we are. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, bro. You not only like I said, for us to build like this, I'm just glad, it's like we're both gaining something from it. You know what I'm saying? We're both gaining perspective. So yeah, anytime, whatever, if it comes to making our people better, man, I'm here, man. Whatever, big or small, whatever platform, I don't care how many subscribers someone has, I'm here to build with my people. And it's like I said, if you and I can talk like this and somebody else can hear it and they can soak something up, more power to them, man. So yes, follow the YouTube channel. You see Sermon Arnell for the YouTube, and then on IG you see that it's Sermon with the underscores. It's all right there. It's scrolling at the bottom of the screen for you. And then also y'all check out my IG. Y'all subscribe to my page. Like the video, folks. That's the only way that not only can we know that you guys were feeling the video, but most importantly, YouTube will know that you guys were feeling the video. So please, if it's something that is beneficial, if it's something that you grab something out of it, like the video, man. It don't take long at all. Subscribe, share it to somebody that you care about and who probably needs to hear the message too. All right. My bro, is there anything you'd like to tell the folks before we go?
Man, good day, peoples, man. Hope y'all enjoyed, you know, as far as like game, you know what I mean? And you know, I'm new to all this camera stuff, you know. I'm gonna get comfortable with it and you know, bring more to the surface, man, because you know it's for a greater purpose, you know. And we'll see y'all next time, you know.
Absolutely. And hey, I'm telling you, bro, you're doing just fine, man. You know, it's taking it day by day, but most importantly, the camera ain't mad at you, man. You know what I'm saying? You're going, you're doing your thing, you're
I'm
talking right.
excited, really excited. I'm naturally a cool person, and just really super excited, man.
Yeah, bro. Nah, you good. You good, man. You all the way nice. Trust me. I've seen some folks where the camera did not agree with them. So you doing you're doing great. You're doing great, my bro. All right, man. So thank y'all again. This has been another episode of War Stories, first installment with Jermon Hitman Simpkins, and we will be back with part 3 in a couple of days. So peace. Thank you for your time.
Beautiful struggle.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.